Vince McMahon has returned to WWE, and a major law change is set to affect both WWE and AEW. But first, let's get to the quickfire headlines, as Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks, has now been moved to the alumni page of WWE.com, this after her debut in New Japan Pro-Wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom. Her profile had remained on the active roster throughout the recent speculation regarding her future, which led to some to assume that she was still under contract and would return at some point. Of course, now that she's debuted in New Japan, WWE's online team has now finally made the switch. For what it's worth, Naomi, who walked out on an episode of Raw alongside Banks and hasn't been seen since, is still listed as active, a sign that she is still under contract. In an interview with the A to the K wrestling show, WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle revealed that he's been in talks to join a group of legends for the Raw 30th anniversary celebrations, with this going down on January 23rd, and in addition, he mentioned that he has pitched an idea for his involvement in WrestleMania 39, but isn't sure if it will be used. Angle, who is currently signed to a Legends agreement with the company, recently made an appearance on WWE television on December 9th to celebrate his birthday on SmackDown, and could be in line for more. Following his AEW TNT Championship hometown win over Samoa Joe this past Wednesday on Dynamite, Darby Allin is set to put his title on the line at the earliest possible opportunity, this after Tony Khan took to social media to reveal that the belt will be on the line tonight on AEW Rampage. The event will be held live from Portland, Oregon, with the show being followed by the live Battle of the Belts special, which will see 3 more championship matches take place. Yesterday at New Japan Pro-Wrestling's New Year's Dash event, Bullet Club leader Jay White would challenge former member Hikuleo to a loser leaves town match, this after laying him out in the middle of the ring. This led to speculation that White, who lost the IWGP World Heavyweight title the night before in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom to Kazuchika Okada, could be on his way out of the company. Well, it looks like it could in fact be Hikuleo that finds his way out of the door, with Fightful Select reporting that WWE has had interest in him for a number of months. The report did note that they haven't been told if contact has been made between the two sides or when Hikuleo's NJPW contract is up, but it certainly could be a hint of what's to come. With the Royal Rumble pay-per-view just weeks away, we now have an update on the planned card for the show, this according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. The report lists 3 planned matches and 1 likely match, and would say, "We did get a lineup that was with planned listings for the Royal Rumble written in mid-November, which listed the pitch black match between Bray Wyatt and LA Knight, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the undisputed Universal title, the Brood Edge versus Demon Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell match. Ronda Rousey versus Raquel Rodriguez was changed, and Charlotte Flair versus Rousey for the SmackDown Women's title would make sense for the show stemming from this week's SmackDown." Elsewhere in the Observer, a planned major push in AEW was revealed, with Tony Khan seemingly having big plans for the popular Konosuke Takeshita, who officially joined the roster in November, this after having several matches through his deal with DDT in Japan. And the Observer notes, "Although he's not being featured on television right now, and when he is, he's there to lose to the top stars in great matches, there are significant plans for Takeshita to be pushed as a top-tier guy. Obviously, the Don Callis scouting storyline looks to be the catalyst in some form." And next, Vince McMahon has returned to WWE. 2022 was one of the wildest years in modern wrestling history, with one of the key stories being the retirement of Vince McMahon. This after the Wall Street Journal uncovered around $20 million in hush money payments made towards former female employees, as well as a series of sexual misconduct allegations. A later report from the Wall Street Journal would then claim that McMahon felt he received bad advice from people close to him at the time that he stepped down, and that he has his eye on a return. Well, Vince now has made his move, with the Journal last night reporting that he was set to make a return to the company in order to partake in upcoming broadcast negotiations, as well as to pursue a sale of WWE. This right before an official statement from McMahon confirmed this to be true. The statement confirmed that McMahon, who is the major shareholder of the company, has elected himself back onto the WWE board alongside former co-presidents and directors Michelle Wilson and George Barrios, who will require 3 3 current directors to vacate their posts. McMahon is said to have sent WWE's current board of directors a letter last month detailing his desire to return to the company he ran for 4 decades to help spearhead a strategic review process. Mr. McMahon believes that there is a narrow window to kick off a sales process because WWE's media rights, including for its flagship shows Raw and SmackDown, are about to be renegotiated. The article also claimed that McMahon has told WWE board of directors that unless he has direct involvement as executive chairman from the outset of a strategic review, McMahon would not support or approve any media rights deals or sale. It seems the reaction to the news within the company amongst talent and staff is all but negative, with Fightful Select reporting that dozens within WWE were floored, and it added that nobody in any department, which includes talent, production, creative, or general staff, at least that Fightful heard back from, was briefed, tipped off, or given any information before or immediately after the news was broken. A big concern within the company and amongst fans is that Vince will take charge of the on-screen creative again, with changes made by Triple H and the new regime being widely praised. Over recent months, we've seen the rehiring of talent previously let go by Vince in the prior regime, jobs that may now be insecure once again depending on the level of control taken back by Vince. For what it's worth, in McMahon's statement, he did say WWE has an exceptional management team in place and he does not intend for his return to have any impact on their roles, duties, or responsibilities. But it remains to be seen if that will actually be the case, so take that for what you will. One talent would tell Fightful that they believe there would be uproar amongst the roster if Vince McMahon does head up creative again, something that appears to be unanimous across the board. PW Insider would also report a similar feeling, with some within the company telling them that they want to leave WWE if Vince comes back, but it does remain to be seen if there will be an attempted exodus from talent and staff. And next, a major law change is set to affect both WWE and AEW. Embedded into every deal with a major wrestling company is a non-compete clause which prevents a wrestler from appearing in another promotion if they're released from their contract. Well, we now have some news that may have a big impact on the business side of the wrestling business, as the Federal Trade Commission has proposed a new rule that would effectively eliminate the use of non-compete clauses in the United States. And the FTC proposal reads: the Federal Trade Commission proposed a new rule that would ban employers from imposing non-competes on their workers, a widespread and often exploitative practice that suppresses wages, hampers innovation, and blocks entrepreneurs from starting new businesses. By stopping this practice, the agency estimates that the new proposed rule could increase wages by nearly $300 million per year and expand career opportunities for about 30 million Americans. The most recent cases of high-profile non-compete clauses in wrestling have seen AEW prevent William Regal from appearing on WWE television, reportedly for the rest of 2023. This is part of the mutual agreement to let him go from the company. WWE did the same to Sasha Banks, the now Mercedes Moné, who was stopped from making any wrestling-related appearances until January 1st, 2023. This after reportedly receiving her requested release back in the summer of 2022. If the rule change does take place, it could have a huge impact on not only the wrestling business, which would see released wrestlers make jumps right away to different organizations, but it would also have a big effect on American business as a whole, although it's not something that could be implemented immediately. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 upcoming wrestling free agents that you need to know.